pressure is on for Liverpool. The wait is over.
Hello, good afternoon and welcome to Final Score. As this crazy season continues, we are in for a lively half an hour. Alex Scott and Garth Crooks, our chair and clerk, will lead us through all of today's talking points, and we won't be throwing anyone out of our meeting. In the Premier League's lunchtime game, it finished Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 0. Reaction to come. We'll have news of all the goals and breaking news between now and full time. We are live at 15 matches across England and Scotland. But first to St James's Park, Newcastle United up against the Southampton side, looking to bounce back from conceding 9 in midweek. What a game this is, Ailey Barber.
Oh, this has been just a brilliant game of football. It's had a bit of everything. Newcastle out of the blocks. Joe Willock with a debut goal after brilliant work from Alan San-Maximin. Then Miguel Almiron with one either side of another debut goal, this time from Southampton's Tamuki Minamino, and that one was an absolute cracker. And it sent the home side into a comfortable half-time lead, and it should have been all wrapped up minutes into the second half, but a complete miss from John Joe Shelby with the goal gaping. Then up the other end, minutes after that, James Ward-Prowse doing what he does absolutely sublimely. A wonderful free kick into the top corner. Carl Darlow, absolutely no chance. And then it got even worse for Newcastle. Jeff Hendricks sent off for a second yellow card, and it has been all Southampton since then. Danny Ings has hit the post. Carl Darlow's had a brilliant save from a Vestergaard header, and it's just been brilliant entertainment. The rain has not stopped all afternoon. The pitch is beginning to be a bit soggy. It's starting to have an influence in play, and it has now turned to snow. But it's keeping me very warm, this entertainment, Jason. At the moment, Newcastle 3, Southampton 2.
It is a wonderful game of football. Ailey is absolutely right. As for Burnley, they're at home to a Brighton Hove Albion side, fresh from a win at Anfield on Wednesday night. John Bennett.
It's Burnley 1, Brighton 1. Burnley fighting back after informed Brighton off the back of wins over Tottenham, and Liverpool took the lead first half. Lewis Dunk with a brilliant header from a Pascal Gross corner. Aaron Connolly nearly made it 2-0 just before half-time. Really good save by Nick Pope. But second half, Burnley have been a much more positive side, and Johan Gudmundsson fired in the equaliser, a low shot after the goalkeeper Robert Sanchez had made a good save to deny Eric Peters. Since then, Barnes had a goal disallowed. Vidra has come close on a couple of occasions, and for Brighton, Welbeck, Trossard and Lallana are all on to try to win this game. It's going to be a thrilling last 15 minutes. It's Burnley 1, Brighton 1.
And we shall go around the EFL grounds and Scottish Premiership in just a moment, after we say a very good afternoon to Alex and Garth. Fantastic to see you, and what an afternoon, Alex.
So much entertainment between both games, but you just can't take your eyes. You still can't call which way it's going to go. Newcastle started the game on the front foot, playing some wonderful stuff. And by the time half-time came, you're thinking this is all day, every day, Newcastle just going to carry on scoring. Southampton have now found a way back into the game. They're dominating possession, and it's so hard to call. This game has had everything, Jason.
Southampton still look like they've got a goal in them, Garth.
Oh, they have got a goal in them. I think they've got possibly 2 goals in them. There are 2 important things that are happening now. One, the conditions are starting to have a big effect on the game, and Newcastle are a man down. If Southampton can just keep their composure and keep picking their passes in the last third and pick Newcastle apart as they did earlier, when Ings hit the post, they will break Newcastle down and they will equalise. This game now, although Southampton are 3-2 down, is in Southampton's hands. They're in control.
However, Newcastle United have a free kick in a very dangerous area. So, Garth, you keep your eye on that.
Yes.
Let me just ask you what you made of Brighton Hove Albion today, because they're playing some fantastic football this season, Alex.
Brighton really started the game. It was fast-paced, the way they were playing the ball around, and Burnley couldn't get into the game at all. Took the lead, and you're thinking Brighton are just going to run away with this game. Burnley, the second half, they've come out, they're a different team. They're finding a way back into this game, and this one is even as well, and you can't call this one. Yeah. But it's great character from Burnley.
And also Sean Dyche has had a bit of a ticking off as well from the referee. I'm going to take you back to Ailey Barber, because something is happening with VAR, Ailey.
Yeah, so Miguel Almiron, who is about to, I think, take this free kick right on the edge of the box. The whistle is going on. It's actually Fabian Schär comes off the wall and Southampton get clear. But it was Miguel Almiron. He was running through on goal, and it looked like he had gone past the last defender, which was, I think it was Jan Bednarek, and then he was taken down. I was wondering whether perhaps a red card might have been shown for denying a goal-scoring opportunity. A yellow card was shown, but then VAR went back to check whether it could have been a red. No red card was the decision. I think there was enough cover back there to get back had Almiron gone past Bednarek. But VAR saying no red card, and there is now a worry again for Newcastle, again defensively, as Schär has gone down in the box, and it looks like they are calling for the stretcher. So that is more bad news for Newcastle. They have made 3 substitutions this afternoon already.
Yep, Ailey, thank you very much indeed. What a match in the Premier League. Right then, off we go to the Championship, and 2 sides both looking for promotion this year are Middlesbrough and Brentford. Naz Premji.
Middlesbrough 1, Brentford 3. Ivan Toney, Vitaly Janelt and Matthias Jensen giving Brentford a comfortable advantage. But Middlesbrough just a few moments to go, Jason. George Saville, point-blank Rangers shot, saved by David Raya, who, of course, gave Middlesbrough the lead with that own goal. And Saville again with a header just a minute after that. His header just wide. Middlesbrough are knocking on the door, not out of it just yet. Middlesbrough 1, Brentford 3.
Yes, and add Bournemouth to that promotion mix. Chris Wise.
Well, yeah, Jonathan Woodgate holding the fort for the Cherries after Jason Tindall's dismissal in the week. His side had been behind in front, level, and now they're back in front again. Philip Billings come off the bench to make it 3-2 now to the Cherries. Danjuma's cross from the left, Billing at the far post with a little flick. It has been a very, very absorbing game, and one that currently Bournemouth are leading by 3-2.
Yes, and Reading also pushing for promotion. Nesta McGregor.
And at the moment, Jason, it's Stoke 0, Reading 0. And I pride myself in having an extensive vocabulary, but struggling to find any positives to describe this one. I don't envy the production team, who must find something, any clips for a highlight show. Stoke are winless in 9 games, and it shows. Reading, as you mentioned, in a promotion place, but like you couldn't tell, their leading striker, 15 goals in 20 games, Lucas João, has barely had a sniff, Jason. Really, really lacking in quality. Sorry to be that guy, but this really is a poor game. Stoke 0, Reading 0.
However, it's very lively at Ashton Gate, Carl Roberts.
Certainly is. Cardiff lead 2-0 in the 7-side derby. They're looking good for their first win in 9 games on the bragging rights as well. Curtis Nelson and Kiefer Moore both scoring from headers within 7 minutes of each other midway through the first half. Bristol City haven't offered much at all, and their manager Dean Holden is going for broke now. He's brought on 4 substitutes in the second half. We've only played 70 minutes because there was a long injury break in the first half. Cardiff keeper Alex Smithies had to leave the field after he became unwell. But 20 minutes to go here. Cardiff lead 2-0.
Thank you, Carl. Queen's Park Rangers on a good run. Andy Stevenson.
Yes, QPR lead Blackburn by a single goal. It's been a really decent match between 2 teams in good form, albeit 10 places apart in the table at the start of the day. Rangers' goal came from defender Johan Barbe, who pounced on a ball that had been ricocheting around the Rovers' 6-yard box. The highlight of the first half was a superb free kick by Blackburn's Adam Armstrong, which met its match in an equally fantastic save by Seny Dieng, getting a glove to it right up in the top right-hand corner. The home side are desperate to pull away a bit from the relegation zone. The away side drawing a rare blank so far. It's QPR 1, Blackburn Rovers 0.
And Nottingham Forest revival continues. Mark Scott.
Yeah, that's right, Jason. It's going to be 3 straight away wins for Forest as Anthony Knockaerts made it 3-0. Superb goal too. Joe Lolly just on as a sub, had it on the left, fizzed it across for Knockaert to smash into the top corner. That after goals early in each half from Glenn Murray on his first Forest start. A lovely lob and then a penalty that he had won himself. Wickham 0, Forest 3.
Back to the Premier League. Bad news for Newcastle United, Ailey Barber.
Yeah, really sad sight for Newcastle. Fabian Schär going off on the stretcher after it looked like a clash of knees. He has got a brace on his left leg as he's going off and up the tunnel. So bad news for Newcastle. They already lost Callum Wilson and Javier Manquillo to injury already today. They made their 3rd substitution when they took off Sam Maximan about 5 minutes or so ago. So with the red card to Jeff Hendrick, Newcastle seeing out the remainder of this game with 9 men.
Thank you, Ailey. Back to the Championship, to the Den. Mike Williams.
Well, Millwall have come from behind here to lead thanks to 2 goals in 90 seconds. Scott Malone with the first after a brilliant bit of link-up play with substitute Sean Williams. Malone slotting past keeper Kieran Westwood. The second coming from another substitute. Moments later, Ben Thompson with the most audacious of cross-come shots. He didn't mean to score from there, surely, did he? A right-foot volley from a ridiculous angle. It wasn't quite Marco van Basten in 1988, but it was that sort of territory. Whether he meant it or not, it has turned this game on its head. Sheffield Wednesday look like they're staying in the bottom 3, whilst Millwall are on course for their first home win since October.
How about Middlesbrough? Are they back in it? Naz Premji.
No, they're not. They're further behind. This is brilliant from Brentford. You know, Rico Henry hit the bar with the initial shot. In the follow-up, the cross came in, and Ivan Toney again stooping low down to score his second and Brentford's fourth. They are heading back towards the top two. And remember, they've got games in hand as well. Middlesbrough 1, Brentford 4.
What a fine side they are. They've now scored 52 goals already this season. Rotherham United on a good run. Betty Glover.
They are indeed. It's Preston 1, Rotherham 2. Really good game this, Jason. Ched Evans has got Preston right back in it. It was all a bit over the place. A cross came into the area, but Evans managed to smash the ball into the back of the net. It was coming. Preston have had their chances. Having said that, though, Rotherham did look like they were in control after Ben Wiles doubled their lead earlier this half after Preston's Joe Rafferty's own goal just seconds into the first half. They had a shocking start. Turning it around now, though. Also, there's so much fake crowd noise here, Jason. It's so believable. I have to keep turning around to check there's no fans here. It's Preston 1, Rotherham 2.
It sounds very lively as well. Let's go to Lindsay Hooper at Kenilworth Road. You simply cannot stop James Collins, Lindsay.
You can't. He got an early one here, Jason. Luton 1, Huddersfield 1. Although Huddersfield, they've stepped it up in this second half. They were trailing to that early Collins tap-in, and they've had a close-range finish of their own. It was a Bacuna free kick, and I think it outfoxed the Luton defence because he went low rather than an in-swinging ball, and it managed to bounce. There was a hand to the ball by Sluga, but just in the right place at the right time was Sarr to tap it in. It's 1-1 and finally poised.
We're talking about top scorers today because James Collins is on fire, of course, for Luton Town. Also Ivan Toney at Brentford as well. And also Luke Jeffcott for Plymouth Argyle at Portsmouth. They lead 2-0 at Pompey in League One. And Lee Jeffcott, that is his 18th goal of the season for Luke Jeffcott. Let's go back to St James's Park. Ailey Barber.
Yeah, Ralph Hasenhüttl is now beginning to turn the screw. He has just made a change. Dan Alunlu coming on for Jack Stevens. So he is what's the word I'm looking for? Overloading the Newcastle defence. They are down to 9. Southampton very much just on the ball all the time right now. They are trying to find that equaliser. They have just under 10 minutes left.
Well, Nestor McGregor was telling us about his vocabulary, so we'll pinch a word from him a little bit later. Back to Turf Moor, John Bennett.
Burnley 1, Brighton 1, but Brighton have really upped the pace in the last 5 or 10 minutes. That brilliant fluid football that Alex was talking about in the first half has returned. They've changed their formation as well. They've gone 4-3-3 because Webster has gone off injured. Lallana has come on, so a change in formation, and it's really working. They're putting the pressure on Burnley now. Burnley 1, Brighton 1.
And straight to the Pirelli Stadium, Mark Webber.
Burton 0, Hull 0. It was a dour first half, but I tell you what, the intensity's kicked in here. Greg Docherty rattling the crossbar. Burton's Johnny Smith forcing a low save. And seconds ago, I tell you what, Burton's Josh Parker missing a sitter inches from the goal line, slices it wide. It just makes me think, Jason, we're not going to see a goal here. I think it's force fields by the goal. It's 0-0.
There's so much drama elsewhere. I feel so sorry for you. Hull City second in the table, Doncaster Rovers third. Ivan Gaskell.
Yes, this is certainly not letting us down. We thought it might be a potential cracker. We've got our share of excitement and goals. Oxford's remarkable run of 9 wins in a row in peril. 2 goals in 4 second-half minutes from Taylor and Richards have put Darren Moore's side in sight of a 5th consecutive league win. But hope for the O's revived. Olamido Sharipo's low deflected drive has thrown it all wide open again. We've got 6 to go. It's 3-2.
It's another frantic day in the EFL. So therefore, how do we make sense of it all? We ask our expert, Kelly Summers, of course.
Well, Jason, it's quite a lot to make sense of. But the one good thing is I'm so grateful that the EFL football started last night. There was no Premier League action, but there were a couple of games to keep across in the EFL, including a cracker in the Championship. Third place, Swansea City, welcoming the league leaders Norwich City to Wales. And this game did not disappoint. Swansea running out winners in this one to temporarily go second overnight. The reason they're not staying second much longer is because, as we've just been hearing there, Brentford been in rampant form in front of goal. Another couple of goals for that man, Ivan Toney, as they've come from behind to beat Middlesbrough by 4-1 as it stands still, of course, underway. Managerless Bournemouth currently leading by 3-2 against Birmingham City. In case you weren't aware, The Cherries did part company with Jason Tindall after 6 months. Earlier this week, he took over from Eddie Howe, who, of course, he was long-term assistant to. And in the early kick-off, Coventry City drew 0-0 with Watford. Watford fans won't be enjoying the fact that Bournemouth have taken the lead at the Vitality Stadium there after that one. Into League One, where we also had a game last night as well. And this was a very enjoyable one, particularly if you're a fan of Lincoln City, because they ran out 3-0 winners against Gillingham at Priestfield to go top of the table. So then all eyes have been on Hull City to see how they could respond. They fell to second as a result of that. They've had a very bad first half, we are hearing, but they have hit the bar in the second half. Burton, of course, bottom of the table as it stands. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank's side losing 6 of their last 7. It's so tight at the top of the table there in League One. At the start of the table, there were just 8 points separating the teams in second, all the way down to 7th. Of course, as we've just been hearing there, 2 informed teams, Doncaster versus Oxford. That game as well, not disappointing with 5 goals there as it stands. There could be a pressure-relieving win for Paul Lambert at Ipswich Town, 2-0 up against Blackpool, and 2 big games at the bottom of the table. Talking of clubs that have changed managers recently, we said about Bournemouth, Wimbledon as well. Glyn Hodges relieved of his duties last weekend. Robinson is in charge there. They've done it the hard way. They were leading, then they were behind. Now it is 3 goals to 2 to Wimbledon, so that could be a huge win. And into League Two, where, as you can see, the big story here really is the fact that we've lost 5 games, 1 of those due to COVID, 4 of those due to waterlogged pitches. Exeter already beating Bradford by 3 goals to 2. They did temporarily go third in the table, but as it stands, Tranmere Rovers going up to third as they've taken full advantage. And as we've been hearing as well, the league leaders, Cambridge United, 2-0 up against Barrow. I think the word frantic comes to mind for all of us in every single division. We've not been able to take our eyes off this. It's been a brilliant afternoon of action in the EFL so far.
Well, Ailey was talking about overload. That's our video printer this afternoon.
Overload, yeah. And I've felt Ailey's pain today. I've been struggling for words a few times as well, because there's just no superlatives that can describe what an afternoon it's been so far.
It's a wonderful day of football.
It.
Absolutely. Kelly, thank you very much. In the Premier League's 5:30 kick-off, West Ham United could move into the top 4 if they can beat Fulham. John Southall has the team news.
3 changes for Fulham, possibly reverting to a back 4, though Teti could slot into a 3. Anyway, out go Aina, Anguissa and Mitrovic. For Lamina, Caviero and De Cordova Reed. Madja, the new signing, is on the bench. Just the one for West Ham from the win at Villa. Jared Bowen is in for Ryan Fredericks.
Thank you, John. What a recovery from Portsmouth. I was telling you they were 2-0 down, those 2 Luke Jeffka goals, and they've turned it around 2-2 at Fratton Park. Back to St James's Park. Ailey Barber.
Oh, Danny Ings was complaining, saying he should have had a penalty. He had a long conversation with the referee, but there was nothing in it. It was after a ball was crossed in. He felt he was bundled down under the pressure. The ball then went back out for a Southampton corner. It is backs to the wall stuff for Newcastle. It is all Southampton. Can the home side keep them out? We have under 5 minutes left here.
Burnley on the attack. John Bennett.
Yeah, 3 minutes of injury time left, and Burnley really putting the pressure on Brighton now after a good spell by Brighton, good spell by Burnley now. Ashley Barnes looking really dangerous going forward. Alexis McAllister has just been clattered by Ashley Westwood, but he's OK to continue. It's Burnley 1, Brighton 1.
And the drama continues in the Championship. Chris Wise.
Well, Jonathan Woodgate, who's in temporary charge of Bournemouth, closing in on a win in his very first game. Bournemouth still leading by 3 goals to 2. Birmingham City have now brought on Sam Cosgrove to try and give their forward line a bit of oomph, but they're looking to find that 3rd goal that would get them a big point. Still Bournemouth 3, Birmingham 2, and we're moving into stoppage time.
To our resident wordsmith, Nesta McGregor.
Stoke 0, Reading 0, Jason. If I could have been quiet, I would have done, because there's been absolutely nothing to update you on. Remember, Reading are in a playoff place, but not really playing like it. Stoke haven't won in 9, and it goes to show as well. And I must say, this does go to another final score reporter. I'm told if Reading draw 0-0 today, it will be their 3rd 0-0 in 4 games. And that assist goes to Mike Williams, who might be a Reading fan, I think. Still 0-0.
And straight back to St James's Park, Southampton with a chance, Ailey Barber.
Oh, I'm glad my microphone's not turned up all the time, because I'm making so many noises. There's so many moments. That again, Southampton looking for a penalty. Vestergaard was trying to flick it round to give himself an opportunity to shoot. It looked like it maybe came off the arm of a Newcastle player. Referee said no, we play on. Still Southampton throw the ball into the box again. Vestergaard's there alongside Darlow, and it's in. Oh, I thought Danny Ings had scored. So did Ralph Hasenhüttl. His head is in his hands, but it is not. An equaliser.
It's a good job the mics aren't up here in the studio as well, because Alex is out of her seat again for the third time this afternoon. What a game. And a big game at Turf Moor as well, John Bennett.
Yes, and Burnley still pushing to try to get that winner. It's 1-1. Westwood swinging in a corner, but it was cleared away by Brighton. And now Burnley are going to have a free kick on the halfway line. Perhaps a final chance with about 90 seconds to go to get the ball into the box. Ben Mee will go forward for this one. It's Burnley 1, Brighton 1.
Oh, it's Isaac Hayden with a clearance. But look, let me be devil's advocate here. Yes, it's a good clearance. But if he hits it, if he hits it clean, Garth.
He slices it. We've got to accept here that the conditions are now atrocious. And all credit to both teams. They've been both totally committed. It's been a tremendous game. But I think the conditions had something to do with Ings slicing that ball that helped Hayden clear it off the line. But it's a terrific game.
Alex?
Isaac Hayden, that is a fantastic clearance. There was another defender as well, because they could smell the danger. Literally, Newcastle are defending for their life. Everyone is throwing themselves at every single ball, at every opportunity.
And there's a corner as well. You keep your eye on that. I've got to go to Mike Williams at the Den.
And Millwall have surely wrapped it up here as we edge into the 90th minute. They've scored a fourth, and it's Marlon Romeo with a shot which I think took at least one, maybe two deflections on its way in, potentially off the substitute Bradshaw and maybe off a Sheffield Wednesday defender as well, on its way past Kieran Westwood. But Marlon Romeo claimed it, and I think it will be credited to him because the shot did look goal-bound. So Millwall are 4-1 up, and Marlon Romeo, I must tell you, is Jazzy B of Soul to Soul's son. And Marlon Romeo certainly brought Millwall back to life here at the Den because they've come from behind to lead 4-1.
Mike Williams, if I could get out of my chair and give you a standing ovation, I'd do that right now. That is wonderful. Back to St James's Park. Hayley Barber.
The board has gone up. We have 6 minutes of injury time to be played here as Southampton again go on the attack. The ball coming in from Bertrand is cleared. It is another corner for Southampton. Can they find the way through to get at least a point from this match? They do deserve it. This second half, they've been brilliant.
OK, thank you very much. Let's go back to Turf Moor. John Bennett, all over.
Yes, it's finished. Burnley 1, Brighton 1. Both sides, their winning run is over. Burnley's losing run is over. It's finished. Burnley 1, Brighton 1.
What a game. I tell you something, Hayley Barber, how lucky have you been to see this today?
Oh, I don't even care that I'm soaked through. This has just been brilliant entertainment. And Southampton again, I think it was Vestergaard and eventually went over the top of the crossbar. But Newcastle and Isaac Hayden, they are defending like Trojans here. They are not letting Southampton get a shot on target. They're throwing everything in front of it. But again, it's Southampton on the attack with just probably 2 or 3 minutes of injury time left in this one. Can they find a way? Can Newcastle hold on?
Back to you, Ailey, in just a moment. All over at Celtic. Roddy Forsyth.
Celtic 2, Motherwell 1. First back-to-back wins for Celtic in 2021. Goals early in each half. The first one from Stephen Welsh, his first club goal with a header from a corner kick. Then Edouard with a swivelling shot unopposed from the edge of the box inside the second half. Alan Campbell made it tense with a reply from Motherwell, and it took a goal line clearance with the last kick of the ball to preserve Celtic's lead. Celtic 2, Motherwell 1.
Thank you, Roddy. Let's go back to Ailey. And Ailey, imagine if there were fans inside St James's Park this afternoon.
Oh, what an afternoon it would be. What an atmosphere it would be if we had this place jumping, because it would be absolutely jumping. There would be a lot of very, very nervous home fans next to me to see if they can see this one out. And Miguel Almiron has just done brilliantly to try and take the ball out of Newcastle's own half. He's won a free kick, and Newcastle have a little bit of defensive respite. They're not exactly on the attack, but they're in Southampton's half, and if they can stay there, they'll get all 3 points this afternoon.
One of our friends, of course, is Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, the manager of Burton Albion, and he'll be delighted, Mark Webber.
He's bouncing up and down like Zebedee because Burton Albion are 1-0 up against Hull City. Hull second in the table, Burton bottom, and it's Johnny Smith, the sub on his debut, with 5 minutes of injury time left, who's gone in and made Burton possibly win their first ever game against Hull. Burton 1, Hull 0.
All over at the Riverside. Naz Premji.
Middlesbrough 1, Brentford 4. The visitors' long unbeaten run in the league continues. It's 20 now. They had an awful start when David Raya led a routine cross in. The goalkeeper couldn't hold on to that, but they fought back well. Ivan Toney with a brace, Matthias Jensen and Vitaly Janelt with the goals for Thomas Frank's side, who were clinical and crisp throughout. They even hit the post and the bar on top of all their goals. It's finished Middlesbrough 1, Brentford 4.
Steve Bruce rallying the troops, Hayley Barber.
Yeah, rallying the troops. There's 9 men that are left on the pitch. pitch as they are facing yet another Southampton attack, but the time is running out here. Can they hold on for what must only be a minute at most? They're all back in that defensive line as Romeo puts it wide. The ball comes in and it is almost at Bertrand's feet, but it has gone out. It is a goal kick for Carl Darlow.